this sketch that I did, which was this was the mega thread that got everyone to really start. Annoyingly, it doesn't get cited very often. I should have put it into a Medium article or a paper or something, shouldn't I? Anyway, this thread got cited a lot. Like, this was my first really big viral thread. It went around the houses big time. And I made the point, but coming off the back of lots of Hyperloop nonsense, I made the point that the reason this stuff gets traction is because you end up in, this is why you don't talk about the technology, you end up in this circular discussion of people talking about the abilities of the technology, including the Hyperloop people going, look, our technology can do this, can do this, can do this. And then you also end up in lots of discussions about, yeah, you just think what we could unlock if with all this fantastic high speed, transportation, and then think about the technology and it kind of round and round and round and round, kind of gargling in pig shit. And no one ever really talks about the important thing, which is the capacity of the system. How many people will this system move? And funnily enough, the answer to that is quite easy to calculate. You don't need to know anything about the technology to work it out, because all you need is the speed. Because you can just use your Suvat equations. Those are your S, they're referring to displacement or distance. U referred to initial speed, V final speed, A acceleration, T time. Suvat. Elementary physics. This is basic. This is mechanics. Shout out to Dr. Couch, who was our. I think he was fine, but he was probably one of my more suspect secondary school teachers. In honesty, I think he was actually completely innocent and didn't realize it. But knowing what I know now, possibly not. Anyway. In any case, Suvat. Yeah, give Suvat equations. Just use your Suvat equations. How do you work out how many? What the system capacity is? Well, you have a pod. Here's a pod. It's going. Let's say it's going this way. It doesn't really matter. It has a certain number of seats in it. Let's say it has 20 seats in it, right? 20 seats. So that's 20 passengers. This thing's going at 1,000 kilometers an hour. Then it will have. So if this thing's going along at 1,000 kilometers an hour, it will have a distance before it is at 0 kilometers an hour. So there'll be some braking distance here. That braking distance, say, is whatever it might be, 4 kilometers. Then that allows you to work out. All right, okay. Well, how long does it take to break that distance? Okay, fine. Well, that takes probably about 40 seconds. Probably, if you say it's about 30 seconds plus or 35 seconds plus a bit of tolerance for this technology to kick in. So 40 seconds, right? Okay, so there are 40 seconds between pods. So between each pod, you have the pod with its people in it, 40 seconds. By the way, that's inescapable. You cannot run pods closer than their braking distance apart from each other. There's no chance that you will. These systems are guided. This would fall under ROGS and the equivalent legislation everywhere else. These have to be 40 seconds apart from each other, or safe braking distance plus tolerance apart from each other. 40 seconds. So what does that mean? That means that you can fit what's 3,600? 3,600 divided by 40. That's 90. So that means that what's that? 90 times 20. Oh, yeah, there we go. So what did I do? So 40 seconds. 3,600 is the number of seconds in an hour. 3,600 seconds per hour, which means that you can have 90 pods per second, which means that you have 90 times 20 equals 1,800 passengers per hour per direction. You know what I should have put up here is the in fact, who's got the not a metro sorter there? Because I'm under the impression that if you've got 20, this is a bus. It's a bus. It's a bus. This is a bus, folks. Yes, and of course, as the second is 90 pods a second. Then you start going into what do the stations look like to enable 90 pods per 90 pods per hour. Yes, that should be 90 pods per hour. 90 pods per hour. How do you get a station that can have 90 things through it an hour? It's what? So yes, this is obviously complete gibberish. So that's how you work out capacity. You can all do this. You all have the capacity to do this. There we are. Hopefully that little lesson has given you the tools to work this out. Michael C is asking a genuine question. Would it be possible to make Hyperloop with actual trains instead of pods? No, because at that point, all the other stuff which we're about to talk about comes into it. So thank you, Michael C. Hannah Goodliff. Hannah, did you by any chance to go to Pengleis Comprehensive in Aberystwyth and have... Did Dr. Couch speak very gently like this? Anyway, Michael C., excellent question. Air asks very good question. 1,800 passengers per hour per direction. HS2, as planned, HS2 would have had 19,800 passengers per hour per direction. Thameslink has around about 40,000 passengers per hour per direction. Thameslink 2, aka Crossrail, has around about it has exactly 36,000 passengers per hour per direction. I think some of the New York subway has metro systems are one thing, but let's stick with high speed. I think incidentally Chuo Shinkansen will have around about 10,000 passengers per hour per direction. Air, yes, very good question. Martha Lawrence, gondolas can manage sub-minute headways, but they're also not high capacity. Yes, exactly. Remy is saying RERA, so there we are, RERA in Paris can achieve 65,000 passengers per hour per direction. Now, what does that mean? It means that nominally, if you wanted to if you want to match HS2's capacity, say, it means that you need, in each direction, 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's one direct. You need 10 tunnels in each direction. There we are. This is your little lecture session going on here. 10 tunnels in each direction. So that's add another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's get my perspective right. Sorry, there. 10. So if we've got 10 tunnels, say each tunnel is, let's make it tight. Oh wait, Hannah Goodliff. Dr. Couch was Welsh. May have moved to Somerset. Could be was he a kind of a rugby scale looking chap? I love diversions like this. Right, this is important. Hannah. Right, here we go. Was Dr. Couch, did he have like long, potentially pony hair tail, dark hair, sat at the front, often sat on top of the front desks, occasionally in a bit of a compromising pose? Gently spoken, Dr. Couch. Bit of a rugby player, like forward type build. Oh, I guess it's the same guy. Okay, we had the same. Yeah, he taught mechanics to me, and when I went to Aberystwyth for a year and a half when I was at Pengleis. There we go. Right. Okay, we're there, folks. That's it's important discussions. So this is 10 tunnels in each direction. So we've got 20 tunnels. So 20 tunnels, and we're multiplying 20 tunnels by, say, 2 meters a pop. So just 2 meter tunnel. Let's just assume very favorably that you can make them 2 meters a pop. So that's times 2 equals 40. So that's 40 meters. 2 meters gives you a very small interior thing. So I think the Transpod one or HTT's one was actually 4 meters. So that then goes up to 80 meters. So that's 80 meters plus, the various structural so you're talking about a 100-meter swathe in a straight line, because this thing, for it to go 1,000 kilometers an hour, is a straight line. All of a sudden, you're starting to see why this is gibberish. But to come back to Ina's actually right. It's 11 actually to achieve what HS2 has. Yeah, you're right, as being favourable. So Michael C. Michael C., your point as to why would this not then work with other trains? Because, oh, by the way, Martha picked up a good point. Just as well, bored tunnels are a famously cheap thing to build. Every single company that pushes this has not considered or modelled bored tunnels. They all have modelled their business case on elevated tunnels because they all rely on selling air rights and having solar panels on the tops. None of them, including Hyperloop transportation technologies, which is one of the lead ones, we'll get there, none of them have modelled bored tunnels. So we're talking about 100 meters wide swathe cutting across the landscape in a dead straight line. Can anyone, not what this picture shows, can anyone wonder why that might be not functional even remotely? Anyway, so that's kind of these three. There's four issues. Number one is capacity. Number two is corridor. Number three is complexity. Number four is cost. All of these neatly fit together. So as we've just talked about, 100-meter wide corridor to get the capacity. If you are going to get that capacity, or likelihood is you're not getting the capacity. This thing is pathetic. But the line of route, is still defined by physics. It doesn't matter whether it's a Hyperloop pod or a train. Super elevation, the amount that you can comfortably rotate that pod to get it round corners are about the same. So that means that you can only really cant the thing over by about an angle of maybe 6 degrees, possibly 9 degrees at most. If you kind of match, APT did 15 degrees, so you could go to 15 degrees. Even if you go to 15 degrees, I would say that's not very safe and accessible because the floor should be angled such that it's safe and comfortable for people to stand on it and walk along it. If, for example, it got stuck like that, it should be accessible. And so on an angle like that, that means that your curves are going to be 12,000 meter radius curves at their tightest for the speeds we're talking about, which is essentially a dead straight line. For comparison, those are HS2's sort of gentle, slack, flat curves are about that, but generally the curves are even flatter than that. So, Martha's absolutely right. You can build this technology just fine, except in places where literally anyone lives or anyone has any care for the environment whatsoever. Yeah, so this picture of it curving gently, also with one tube, where's the passing loop on this? Or is this just one direction? Or does it just one pod? Because that 40 seconds requires minimum two, because you can't run these. How are these passing each other? So this is just one. So you talk about 40 seconds. No, this is going to be what we can see on screen is at least 2 minutes of headway between pods until a passing. Do you see what I mean? Gibberish. So that's corridor. The complexity element is a bit like what I talked about, referring back today to the pad of a kind of guided bus tram thing. Complexity is about the fact that this is a proprietary system. It's a system that is untested technologically, so building it, any contractor building this, it would be expensive. It's untested, but also the compatibility element. There are all these different systems interacting, proprietary systems. How do they fit together? How does it get built? All these questions. And the fourth is cost. To build this thing, either it has an enormously tiny capacity and you've built a viaduct which has this single tube viaduct is as much civil engineering as required to build HS2. Don't be under any illusions. The idea of this thing, these pipes are also hilariously far, like the supports are hilariously far apart. That's not happening. But even if it was, this is still an enormous. Don't be fooled by the CGI hills and Transport Fever 2 ass looking kind of terrain. There would have been a scar on the landscape to build this thing, and it would require a huge amount of concrete. You can see all those tall. Also, the idea that this would get planning permission with this height, that this would get planning permission anywhere in the developed world, is also very funny. So on those 4 counts of capacity, corridor, complexity, and cost, it just falls down.